Welcome to Amazon Seller Brand Stories. We are interviewing the best Amazon sellers on the platform right now that really care about building their brands, and we're bringing their stories here to you. So whenever you're scrolling through the search results trying to find the best products on Amazon, you don't know who you're buying from. You don't even know what that product really has going on behind the scenes, and that's what we're discovering here today. We have one of our longtime friends with us, Mr. Brad Ober, and he's got an amazing brand but also an amazing brand story. So without further ado, I give you Brad Ober. So Brad, tell us who Brad is, how you guys got into the business, and what are you building today?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Great question. I'm going to tell you the story about Firefly Craft. Firefly Craft, it's actually a brand that's been selling on Amazon now for approximately 7, almost 8 years. Seth, Sean, I'll be honest with you, my Amazon days didn't start private labeling. We actually started as wholesalers on the platform and just moving and shaking, trying to sell products on the platform that we could see that other companies were selling. And we were doing pretty well, but we just didn't feel like it was the right fit for us. So we started dripping and trying some different products and whatnot. And we were very risk adverse in trying different products to see what was going to stick in the market when we would launch it. Sound familiar, gentlemen? I mean, that's kind of a philosophy I think I've heard you guys teach quite a bit over the years. Anyways, so that's what we started doing. And anyways, lo and behold, we came across a product that was kind of new to us in the arts and crafts sector called heat transfer vinyl. And to be honest, we didn't even have the brand created. The brand has been created around the product, to be completely honest with you. Heat transfer vinyl, it's a type of product that you can actually take like a cutting machine with your computer, like a Cricut or a Silhouette. And you have a unique design that you want to embroider on a shirt. And I say embroider, really you're not embroidering anything, but you actually cut out the design with your machine and apply it to your shirt. And so you have a unique logo. Actually, I have one right here. That's one of our unique logos that we created with our heat transfer vinyl product. But yeah, you just iron it on and just roll with it. So it's a consumable. You just keep reusing it, that kind of a thing. And we just kind of got into that space. And as that product, that sector just started to grow, we just kind of grew with it. And that's kind of where Firefly Craft came to be. It's kind of fun. That being said, I'm rambling, gentlemen, but um, it was a family affair too. Like, just to tell you guys a little bit about myself, my wife, she's the face of Firefly Craft. I'm just kind of the operations and
So she's the
accounting, and
brains, right? Or you're the brains, she's the face.
no, she's everything, and I'm just like the VP of toilet services, or VP of
Well,
go pick up the
where is
kids
Mrs.
from
Ober when we need her?
wherever they're at now at Tiny Timmy's house or whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, she's been the face. You can see us on YouTube. You can see our fireflycraft.com. I mean, we're on Facebook and Instagram. We try to have a presence out there, but she's really been that face. That's been really helpful for us. She's a stay-at-home mom. Um,
Good.
but she's been able to talk about using the product. So it's been a lot of fun in that whole process.
I bet. So, Brad, what I love about well, first of all, let me just reiterate the product. Back in the horse and buggy days, I used to have a vinyl plotter, it was called, before Cricut and all
Yeah,
those came out. So basically, instead of silk screening a logo on a substrate like a shirt or a sweatshirt, in your case, your product is a heat transferable type of vinyl that can be cut out into a design, right? So,
absolutely
it's
correct. Yep.
important that you provide a good quality product because your customers come back over and over again to buy more. All right. So now we know what the product is and
And
what it
Sean,
does.
just telling you a little bit more about the quality on that, just some more
Okay.
story, because finding the supply line, that was hard for us to do. I mean, in those early years, we were trying to vet out so many different suppliers from, from multiple suppliers from China, different ones in Asia, I think maybe Vietnam. But ultimately, we had to go with a supply line that still is in Asia. It's in South Korea.
Okay.
At that day and time, they were known for their quality of heat transfer vinyl. And so that's been really critical for us. We may not be the cheapest heat transfer vinyl, so to speak, out there in the Amazon space, but it's definitely by far the most highest quality out there.
Okay, that's fair enough. But let me get to the part that excites me most about your story, Brad.
Yeah.
So, I think that you and I probably first come into contact back in 2015, or maybe even before that. And when Seth and I decided to start sharing some of our unique seller strategies, you were one of the very first at the table, and we've always give your opinion very high regard because we know you're a great businessman. But the thing that really sets you apart, Brad, is not only your cool personality and your hoodie, but you're a family man, like myself, like Seth. You have like 47 kids, I think, by
Nice
now.
try.
You're
Nice
living in
try. No,
Utah.
we only have 7. Come on,
Oh,
Seth. Come
well,
on.
that's close enough. So we have about 47 between the three of us. But I love the fact that you've told me numerous times this is a legacy business. You're building this business as a family so that you can provide for the family ongoing and then give it to the kids someday. Talk about that a little bit and what that means about the work that you put in every day and why you're so passionate about it.
Great question. I mean, it really is about the family for me, and for my wife. I mean, what we're doing here, I mean, it's nice. It helps pay the bills and whatnot, but we want to do something for the kids to kind of help them out as they continue to grow and prosper and whatnot. And this seemed like the vehicle that was the best way to do that. But with that being said, the family, it's not just something we want to give to them at some point in time in the future. I mean, we've involved the family as well. I mean, if you go look historically at some of our images and where we're showing off the products, you'll actually see my kids in several of those images where they're sporting off, the different kind of vinyl product that they're wearing or cut or whatnot. I mean, they've been a very active part of this whole process as well. But you're absolutely right, Seth and Sean. It's definitely part of the legacy. We're trying to do this for the family.
That's
So,
amazing.
yep. So obviously you're a for-profit business, so you're here to create a profit, but at the end of the day, you're building something that's greater than yourselves, that's going to outlive you, hopefully. And I love the passion, Brad, that you put into that every day, the quality of the product, the customer service, the thought process that goes into your marketing and your follow-ups. Seth and I are helping you with some of your marketing strategies, and I think it's
Yeah.
really important for people to understand that a real business like Brad, a real family business with a real brand that's right here, homebred in the United States, puts a lot more thought and effort into creating a quality product and standing behind the product because Brad, a lot of folks out there who are shopping on Amazon, maybe if you're watching this or listening to this, that's you. You're only looking at the image and you look at the price, but there's so much more behind the scenes, isn't there, Seth?
Oh, there definitely is. So maybe Brad, I'd like to get into a little bit of your background before kind of your Amazon journey of your career. But before we do, Brad, why don't you tell us a little bit about like, I know nothing about heat transfer vinyl. All I know is if I wanted, a different design on my shirt, I would like it to stick, right? I want it to be high quality, not crack,
Right.
and I want it to stay on there. So what is it about the product itself that like makes a good one or a bad one? Like how do we know what we're getting?
Yeah, great question. A lot of it comes down to what you said. Is it going to stick to the textile material that you're using? So that's critical. The other thing is the application, the way that it's applied. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people, they'll talk about using, just the kind of iron to iron your shirt, using that, applying pressure, and that can be done. But oftentimes you need to use the right process, which is actually using what's called a heat press, which actually applies more pressure to the vinyl, to the actual shirt, and makes it stick better. But I mean, if it's applied correctly, I mean, this vinyl will like last the life of the shirt. I mean, really, it will. It won't peel. It won't, break or tear or anything like that. It'll last for quite a long time.
Okay, Brad, I'm going to put you on the spot, man, because I know that you're like a super above board honest dude. Tell us the truth. What are other sellers making? What mistakes are they making when it comes to creating the quality of their product? And what should consumers who are looking for vinyl be aware of?
I think the big thing is not to be duped by in the space, price is kind of really a critical factor. And so oftentimes what we see happening to us is oftentimes somebody who's never used a heat transfer vinyl product, they feel like heat transfer vinyls are all created equal. And so what they'll do is they'll go buy the cheapest vinyl that they can find and they'll use it and then they'll realize I just ruined my shirt by using that vinyl. I just tried to apply it, it stuck, but then it peeled off or whatever. And so what we end up finding is a lot of the customers that come and purchase from Firefly Craft are actually customers that have actually tried the competitor's vinyl that they may have gotten for a cheaper price and then realize they can't do that anymore. It's costing them way too much. They just ruined their hoodie, so to speak. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's what we've learned is, yeah, we are a little bit more expensive compared to some of our competitors, but the quality is really where it's at. That's
Right.
what matters most.
So how much did I pay for this shirt that I'm about ready to mess up, right? How much is that worth? So just a quick story about something similar that you can relate to. I was buying, we have these GoPros. My kids are doing four-wheelers and bikes and jet skis and dirt bikes. So they always need something else to put a GoPro on. So I get tired of paying GoPro prices. So I thought I'd be cute and I went to Amazon and I ordered all these GoPro like stick-on camera holders. Well,
Sure.
guess what? They look great. Plastic is plastic around the world, right? But that quote unquote 3M tape, it's not the same. Ink's cheap, and some of these, and I'm not saying it's only the Chinese sellers, but it seems to me like if I get something in a Chinese box with some Chinese language and it says 3M, it doesn't stick. I don't care how many times you print 3M, the logo on there, it's not sticking. And if you lose your GoPro in 200 feet of water out in the middle of the ocean, guess what? That 50 cents that you saved buying the cheap product just cost you a $500 camera. So you have to think about, what could go wrong. You absolutely get what you pay for, especially in your industry, right, Brad?
Absolutely. And there is that, there is that. I mean, you're going to lose money, in like the hoodie or whatever. The other thing is too is time. I mean, oftentimes, case in point with my wife, I mean, the kids will come home and they'll say, oh my gosh, I got to go to a birthday party. I want to give my friend a shirt. That's going to be their gift when I go to the party. I was like, okay, a shirt is great. Well, then they want to customize the shirt. Well, my friend really likes cupcakes. So how about we say Susie loves cupcakes or something like that? So make a very customized design for Susie for her birthday party. And by far, that's amazing. But when it's time to send the kid to the party and it's time to make the shirt, if the vinyl doesn't stick to that shirt, you just lost that time. All that time and the effort to like think it out, make it happen. And now that you got to take your kid to that party, because my kids, they're like taking the shirt off the heat press and like running out the door to stick it in a little cutesy bag or whatever to go take it to the party. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
time is really critical in that whole process as well.
Well said.
Absolutely. So Brad, I've known you for so long, but I don't think I ever really got to hear your story about. I know that you guys built an amazing family business on Amazon, and you guys have an amazing product now. But what happened before? Like, how did you make that journey into this world,
Yeah,
Brad?
great
Where did you come
question,
from?
Seth. Great question. I actually worked in corporate America for quite a few years. Out of college, I went and worked for a firm, and I worked in their international division. So basically, I was doing a lot of like spreadsheet type work and whatnot. I was doing operations and finances, and it was a great opportunity. I learned a lot. I like to say I learned and made mistakes on somebody else's dime, and just learning the ins and outs of businesses. I helped open up some new satellite offices in different countries across the globe. So that experience was helpful for me when it came time to pivot to the Amazon business and start talking to suppliers overseas. I still had to learn a few things, but I wasn't afraid to talk to some different suppliers overseas and communicate to them via email or whatever messenger app that they prefer to use, whether it be WhatsApp or WeChat or whatever it is. So that was helpful. I actually pivoted as well into some marketing as well, marketing some products. So I was familiar with the space, but I did more on the sales side of things. So those were things that helped me. I knew enough to be dangerous. When it came time to pivot and move into our own business, like I said, I knew enough that we needed to have solid operations. We had to have the finances in place to make sure we were paying the bills, paying ourselves. When we started our Amazon business, I had gotten the pink slip. I lost my job in corporate America. So when we pivoted to Amazon, we needed to make it work. I mean, basically, I had a severance package that allowed me to basically get the
Oh,
Amazon business up and going. We had like a 90-day period to make it happen. And we did it. We made it happen, but it was quite the journey. And And I say the legacy business, my family was completely part of that. It was all hands on deck. They all wanted to help out and make this
Really.
business happen. And that's the story about our business, is it really is a family business. A lot of people can say that, but I can feel it. I mean, they really pitched in to make this thing work. That's what I really love and support them in.
That's just a remarkable story. And I know it's 100% accurate because, like you said, I've known you for way too long now. Really appreciate what you're doing and the fact that you have all the kids involved. My kids are involved. I was at an event a few days ago in Orlando, and the lady that was sitting with me was like chewing this guy out because he was making excuses why his children were sitting at home on a shelf while he's out traveling. And my whole opinion's always been, and I've tried to put this into Seth's mind, is if my kids aren't welcome, then I'm not welcome. So I might bring them. I've had them to China, I've had them all over the world. So
And
not
I've seen you
always.
too. I love that. And I love that philosophy that you just mentioned. Like, if they're not welcome, then you're not welcome. I love that. I need to remember
Right.
that.
Don't ever apologize for it. If the kid walks in the room with a snotty nose and wants to sit on your lap, I'll put him right on the camera. I guarantee it. So I
Awesome.
just wish that mine were still as young as Seth. So I'm trying to instill that into him just as recent as yesterday. So Brad, I know you prepared something awesome for Firefly Crafts. For anyone who's listening to this, check the show notes under your podcast platform. If you're watching this on any of our social channels, then just look at the notes under the video. But Brad has prepared a discount code for Firefly Craft that will give you 10% off any 2 items in the store. And with your product and the quality and the pricing that you're already providing for folks out there, I know this is a tremendous value. It's FF Craft, as in for Firefly Craft, FF Craft 10, FFCRAFT 10. That'll get you 10% off any 2 items in the store. You can, we're going to link to the store in the show notes and under this video. But if you're in a hurry, go to Amazon, just search for Firefly Craft and use that coupon code. Any parting words there, Seth?
Yeah, so we really, really appreciate you sharing your story, Brad. I feel like we missed a few details from your family side of building that brand. I didn't really know that you guys had 90 days to lay it all on the line and really build something. And you guys came together as a family and you did it. And you not only did it, but you did it and you brought a great product to the market. So really proud to be your friend all these years, Brad, and to hear your story. So Brad, anything you'd like to say about Firefly Craft and your guys' story before we get out of here?
No, it's just been a wonderful journey, and the journey's not over. So it's been awesome. Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Right. Thanks a lot, guys. Go to Amazon right now. Check out Firefly Craft. Use the coupon code FFCraft10 for 10% off any 2 items. This has been an episode of Amazon Seller Brand Stories. That's Brad Ober, one of the, 7, 8, 9 founders of Firefly Craft, now that he has a house full of children. And you heard it right from the horse's mouth. Brad is a heck of a guy with a great business, completely family oriented, and it is a legacy business. You're supporting real American businesses. Brad's still doing his own customer service. I'm sure he's not farming it out. You get what you pay for, guys. Not all products are created equal, and that's what we're all about here. Amazon Seller Brand Stories. Thanks a lot, Brad. We'll see everyone next time.
Thank you.